Why are you excited to be here tonight?
Because I'm just excited.
Yeah. No other explanation. Now, I do believe, tell me the truth, is it true that your dad has a ringside seat but didn't get you guys ringside seats?
That is true, but it's because of his YouTube channel, okay? It's his YouTube, okay?
Her dad's an influencer. Let him go, guys. But your dad's awesome, right?
Yeah.
See, he's awesome! Yeah! Give it up for Claire. Thank you so much, Claire. High five. Yeah!
Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's the radioactive pop with Danny Limelight, United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Champion. And make sure you tune into the Alliance blog every week. You heard it here first. Straight from Poppy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pre-party, a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. I'm your host, Jay Cal, and every single Tuesday at this time right here, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific, I come to you, my brothers and sisters in wrestling, and I preach the word, the gospel of the National Wrestling Alliance, and I hope we find a connection that drives this community and builds us up to a level that will not be defeated by the likes of Hulkamania or whatever. I don't know. I'm all hopped up on energy drinks and a good attitude. This is the pre-party. My name is Jay Cal. Every Tuesday we talk NWA, and of course there's a lot to talk about today. Unbelievable, unexpected. Rumors have been gallivanting. We'll talk about these rumors, and apparently they're true. Everything they say is true, daddy. But first and foremost, I'm going to say what's up to my guys in the chat. I got to see my boy Jeremy here. I got to see. What the hell? I forgot how to talk. Jeremy says, good afternoon, Alliance fam. Don't forget the thumbs up, share, and after the stream, leave a comment. It all helps the Al Gore rhythm, and it does. That fool needs to dance. He made the internet after all. Willie Bowen says, what's up, Jeremy? I didn't need to read that one. Jeremy's going to be listening in, not watching in. That's okay. We appreciate all support, whether you listen to it live, watch it on demand, doesn't matter. As long as you're enjoying the product and sharing it and liking it, I don't care when you watch it, to be honest. I appreciate you guys being a part of this community. I know it's not always easy. Look, we are Tuesday in the middle of the day. Most people don't have time to watch this show. If you watch it afterwards, that's cool too. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Danny Deals. The D's, man, hooked up your boy Jay. I got me a NWA 76 hat. He also hooked me up with the coveted NWA 76 t-shirt. And I was planning on wearing this next week when the NWA apparently was supposed to be broadcast in the 76, but now the question is where are they going to broadcast the 76 at? more people here in the chat. I want to say what's up to Steve G. Steve G literally leaves a comment on every single video that we put out. Steve G, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. It does help with the algorithm. I'll notice you'll like a comment and video. You'll like and comment on a video, and then the numbers on that video grow. So what you're doing is helping me. Thank you, sir. Anyone else who wants to do the same, you're more than appreciated to do it. Shrek is here. Says, forget Joe Henry. It's that guy, Shrek. I don't know. I'm a Joe Hendry kind of guy. I think that dude is going to blow up. And I know like he already has, really. But I feel like I kind of feel like it'd be funny if Joe Hendry did a Stephanie Vaquer and signed with AEW right in front of everybody. Like, everyone expected Stephanie Vaquer, if I'm saying her last name correctly, to sign with AEW. It was like a foregone conclusion. Everybody I knew who Stephanie Vaquer was mentioning AEW, and then she signed with the WWE. That was awesome. And I don't play favorites. I don't care where people go as long as they're making money. But Joe Hendry, who's had so much face time in the WWE on NXT, had even title matches for the NXT Championship, for him to just show up at AEW one day would be phenomenal. I would love it. I would pop. Willie has his Tyrus joke of the day. Tyrus is making another movie. It's a remake called Once Upon a Mattress. Tyrus will be playing the California Kingdom size. Because you get it, because Tyrus is a big gentleman, right? Like, he's a big dude, and he's so big in that he could literally be a mattress. Noob is in the house. What is up, Noob? If we get a rematch between Natalia Markova and Kenzie Page, which stipulation think it'll be? I'm going to go outside of the box and say it should be a submission match where they fight for the right to wrestle in a submission style match. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me for 1 second. Maybe not. Okay. It's coming. I can feel it, and I can't move on because it's going to happen in the middle of talking. Shrek says, better sub and buy W or Tyrus will become NWA World Champion again. He's just sitting here. He's just waiting for that opportunity. He's like, now that they're off the CW, it's my time to shine. Oh, my God. Say his name, and he appears. That's Tyrus. And I probably just made Willie turn off the whole program. Sorry, Willie. It was a joke. Bobby Batito's in the house. Sean Mega's here. What is up, Sean? What is up? Let's see. 76 shirt. Yeah, that's a cool shirt. Danny Deals hooked me up. Of course, I don't know if they still have any more left in print, but if you check out the NWA website, surely they have some more 76 merch available. The Great Hisa is here. The Great Hisa was the first person that indicated to me that the CW and NWA relationship was coming to a close, and I just thought he was making it up. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a scam. It will be filmed in Billy Corgan's mom's basement. There might be some truth to that. Tyrus will be playing a California-sized mattress in the remake Once Upon a Mattress. Okay, I got you. Steve G says, is the NWA done with the CW? That's what it sounds like, my friend. That guy Shrek says, I mean, Stephanie wanted her childhood dream. Can't blame her. I don't blame her at all, Shrek. And I've heard some other parts of the story that make me believe that she absolutely made the right choice. How long will it be before Billy just gives up? The business is about politics, relationships, and money. He can't do it alone anymore. Or can he? Look, I'm not entirely convinced that this is a bad thing, but there's more to talk about here. I'm surprised that action figure of Tyrus came in a box. That's awesome. I'm going with a street fight match or a title versus career match to ask a bigger question. Who's the real star of the NWA women's division? That's a noob. That's not, neither one of those would shock me. I don't really want to do any more garbage matches. I understand the draw of them. I understand on a big payoff, but because it's been so long between Markova's title matches with with Kenzie. I don't feel like there's a feud there. So if it's gonna be built up to a feud and the payoff is that cage match or a hardcore fight, I'm cool with that. But their first match out, I don't even know if you need to add a stipulation to it, unless they're going to build this up as something bigger than it is. If they're going to have like a long-standing storyline that builds up to that final match, but if they're just basing it on past history, I don't think there's enough there to warrant that next level type match. Bobby Batito says the former NWA talent Matty Rankowski, now known as Ren Sinclair on NXT, is challenging for the NXT North American Championship tonight against Kalani Jordan. Let's go, Ren. Maddie was great. I liked Maddie a lot. I will always root for her because she kind of had her start here in the NWA. So yeah, I'm always about supporting those. Heebs. That's my guy, Heebs. Heebs and I went viral on Instagram. I mean, technically it's me, but it's because of Heebs' channel. Steve, I don't know if they're going back to YouTube though, brother. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's speculate. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Chris Drummond says the NWA should just get a deal with Pluto and call it a day. Willie agrees with that. So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about this deal, right? Because the thing about the NWA is 8 months ago, and actually longer than that, the NWA alienated an entire fan base, basically anyone outside of the continental United States, maybe even Canada and Alaska. I'm not entirely sure if they were included in the deal, but the NWA alienated the entire fan base by signing an exclusive contract with the CW, which prevented them from airing episodes of Power on YouTube. When they did this, they also permanently ended the relationship that they had previously with Fight/Triller TV. A lot of us who had in the past had purchased content from the NWA through Triller were essentially just told, sorry, it's no longer available. So essentially, in other words, we kind of were ripped off. And, you know, I don't know who to blame entirely. I don't know if it's Triller, excuse me, or if it's the NWA. But ultimately, I was disappointed, just like you, when I went to my Triller app and I could not watch the Crockett Cup 2022 or 2022, or I couldn't watch some of the episodes of Power that I'd previously been able to watch, or any of the pay-per-views that I'd ordered throughout the years were now no longer available to me. So it was one of those deals where I felt like I was wronged by the NWA or Triller. But then when they pulled the content off of YouTube as well, this wasn't the first time that they did that. We got to remember too that the NWA, when it debuted on YouTube under the Power guys, that was about 5 years ago. In fact, September 31st, right, was the day one of the TV tapings, with October 1st being the second day of the television tapings of the initial Power launch. And it would air on YouTube about a week later, and was made available on YouTube up until, of course, the pandemic. It was available on YouTube. All the prior episodes of 10 Pounds of Gold, all of that was available on YouTube throughout the pandemic. And then they announced they had this strategy, this deal with Triller, with the NWA Plus subscription program. They wiped clean all the content off of the YouTube. This was the first time that the NWA pulled the rug out of the fans who were accustomed to watching the product on YouTube. Now, at that point, I could understand it because we were all watching this for free. We might have subscribed, but we didn't pay for that content. We were paying for that content through Triller when they were releasing the pay-per-views. And then when they had the NWA Plus subscription, we were all benefiting from the free pay-per-views if you're part of the subscription. And again, when they pulled that out from under us and returned to YouTube, a lot of people were very happy about that. I was one of the people who was a little bit miffed because, again, we lost access to all the content we had. All that content that we had paid for was gone, without even so much as a, hey, thank you for your support, or any kind of formal notice. They just took it away. And then that brings us to today, or 8 months ago, when the NWA was back on YouTube. We were moving along. Things were looking well. You could still order your pay-per-views on Triller until 8 months ago, when they were no longer on Triller. All that relationship seems to have ended, and I don't know how positively. And now for the looks of it, they left for the CW app. And the pay-per-view model was dismantled in place of signature live events, which were nothing more than Power television tapings. Power television tapings sounded good. Signature live events sounded good until there became no delineation between the product of the television show and the pay-per-view. And so the quality of the programming just kind of felt flat. If you ask me, the NWA in the last few months felt flat. The Crockett Cup, which should have been a crowning achievement for the NWA, its return to Texas, the first time it had been in Texas under the Lightning One era, did not hit it for me. It did not connect. It was not knocked out of the park. It was flat. Now, I was there at the 76th anniversary show. A lot of you were there too, and it felt very exciting. These territory tapings that just happened, whether you loved it or hate it, I felt like we were getting something different and something a little bit more exciting. And I was more invested into the NWA product again after those episodes started to air on the territories, right? But now the news has just come out this week. Maybe it was last week too. And there's never been a formal announcement from the NWA. There's never been a formal announcement from the CW with the direction of what's going to happen to the NWA. Even after the WWE announcement was made and the CW said, yes, we are bringing the the WWE product to our channel and to our subscription, our website, our app. The thought was that the NWA would continue to be a secondary product on the app and that there would be actually 2 wrestling programs on the CW app. And that doesn't appear to be the case. With a lot of word coming out last week, like I said, the Great Hisa was the person that showed me first that they were removing the content from the app. Now, my app never even indicated that. In fact, the first time I saw it was today when our friend of the show, James H. Jackson, sent me a screenshot of the CW app, and it was under the last chance to see it. And that kind of blew my mind. Because up until this point, I felt these were all unsubstantiated rumors or people just messing with NWA fans. But now, yeah, it's official. They're showing that it's gone. It's leaving. And we can only assume that the departure of the NWA will coincide with the arrival of NXT on the CW app, which is a great move for CW. But again, NWA fans, we're without any kind of warning from the office, without any kind of announcement, we're just left in the dark again. And this is not a good thing to do to your fan base. You had an international market that you basically gave up on for 8 months of the CW. How good was that money? How good was that deal for Billy Corgan and the National Wrestling Alliance that it kept you from being seen by a good chunk of your audience? Like right now in the chat, I see you, Fiona. Fiona's here. Tim quit watching the NWA altogether. The Alliance Gold, he's done. This belt up here, that's Tim's belt. Tim gave me that belt because he got tired of the NWA. And so now we're in a point where, what the hell are we going to do? You've got the 76th anniversary show, by far the best NWA product I saw all year. And as of right now, there's not even a distribution for it. Are you going to just throw it back up on YouTube? Or did you give up 8 months of your NWA fans being able to watch your product and support you just to come crawling back to YouTube? This is the definitive, you take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. This is an embarrassment. And I know it's going to get me heat from some of the people I love in the NWA, but my God, you got to be effing kidding me. You alienated Tim, you alienated Fiona, you alienated Lamb, you alienated Dodie, you alienated such a diverse group of your fans, people who are watching your product. For what? What did you get out of being on the CW app? How many people are coming to watch the NWA on YouTube from the CW app? You didn't even give them any notice. hey, thank you so much for the relationship we have with CW. Of course, we are leaving the channel on October the 1st. You can continue to support the NWA by watching us on youtube.com/the NWA and follow all of our social medias at the NWA. How hard is it, guys? Don't tell me you're a wrestling company. Don't tell me you're a full-time wrestling company when you're acting so indifferent right now. Joe Galley, Kyle Davis, you guys know better than this. And if you're a part of it and you're not saying something to the boss, like, what the hell, man? I'm a business owner myself, guys. I make money. I make a lot of money running a business. You literally had a captive audience every Tuesday, and you gave them absolutely zero warning that you won't be there next week. Now, I haven't watched this week's episode of Power. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they go into a lot of detail and tell us exactly where you can watch the NWA going forward. But if not, what the hell? Chris Drummond, great question. Did we get any notice when the NWA content left Trailer TV? No, we got zero. We got no notice when the NWA ripped everything off of YouTube. And again, that's a different story. It was unexpected. It sucked because if you were a fan watching it during the pandemic, like that was your only place to get the NWA. So yeah, you got notice. You didn't get any notice, but they didn't really owe you any notice. You didn't pay for that content on YouTube, but you did pay for the content on Triller. I paid for that. I paid for that content, and it was ripped out of my hands in the middle of the night with no warning. No, like, hey, download it. Hey, if you have a way of doing it, get it, copy it, download it, stream it, whatever. No prior notice. It's unbelievable that this is how a company that wants to proclaim themselves the next big thing in wrestling, how it's supposed to be. I tell you what, Vince McMahon, for all the shady shit he's ever done in his life, never gave me a product, allowed me to pay for a product that I thought was mine and put it in a universe that I could watch whenever I wanted it and then rip it out of my hands. I don't know about you, but you should be pissed. Everybody that's in this chat right now should be pissed. Everybody who's watching this later, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, everyone should be angry. You should be angry at Billy Corgan. And you should be angry at the National Wrestling Alliance. You should be angry at Pat Kenny. You should be angry at Kyle Davis. You should be angry at Joe Galley. This was their ultimate decision to leave YouTube for something better. What was better about CW? Was it the money? Did Billy make a couple $1 million off this deal? Did he make $1 million off this deal? Did they pay for his production cost? How good was the money? Because I feel like we all got screwed again. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. I mean, I am, because what am I going to do? But you guys should be pissed. Everybody in the chat right now, everybody on our Discord, everybody on Twitter, X, whatever, Facebook, Instagram, you should be pissed. If you support the NWA and the repayment they give you is to tell you nothing, fuck you, Billy Corgan. Fuck you, NWA. We deserve better than that. They didn't just drop this on you right now. You knew about this weeks ago. You knew that the product was coming to an end on the CW app. You didn't get noticed today. You probably knew when the WWE signed their 5-year deal with the CW. It sucks, and you should be pissed. All right, let's go to some of your comments because I didn't get to see everything, and I love you guys, and this is therapy for me too. Like, I'm mad right now. If you can't tell, I'm going to go to a wrestling show in about 2 hours. I'm going to go watch the United Wrestling Network down there at the Irvine Improv. They're going to be featuring matches from West Coast Pro Wrestling. I'm going to get to see Royce Isaacs taking on Jake Alexander in a matchup that I think is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to see guys like Titus Alexander and Alpha Zoe and hopefully Los Socitos. And, I don't know the entire card off the top of my head, but I think Bad Dude Tito will be there. But man, I'm not happy with the NWA right now, as you can tell. There's a lot of people there I love and appreciate, but right now I'm mad at all of them. Let me see. Yeah, still mad. Okay. So back to the comments. Would you like to see Tom? Who would you like to see go against Tom Latimer? Right now, if I had to pick somebody on the roster, I guess the first person I want to see against Tom Latimer would be probably Silas Mason, if we're just going on who's on the roster. But, right now, I don't think there's a true, genuine threat to Tom Latimer in the title unless it's going to be EC3 or Richard Holiday. Shrek says the NWA, Pluto streams old TNA all the time. Yeah, they have a TNA channel, I believe, which is, I honestly think I pitched that idea to Marquez and the United Wrestling Network to make a United Wrestling Network channel on Pluto, but obviously that didn't happen. NWA on Pluto TV and Zumo. I don't know what Zumo is. Fiona's in the house, of course. Why don't the NWA own their full library? Billy signing bad deals. Well, Sean, which library are you talking about? Billy owns essentially what he brought to the table. Billy owns Power and USA and even the 10 pounds of gold. I'm not sure where the ownership lies in that because we don't see it on any other, on the YouTube or anything else like that. I mean, you would imagine that that if they had access to it, that we'd have access to it, but maybe not. Dave Scooby, I was at the original tapings. It was amazing. It's funny how, Dave, you were there and Gary Horn was there and I was there and, a lot of us were there and I didn't know you guys then. And now I consider you brothers. So it's kind of crazy how things work sometimes. Fiona's probably jazzed about the NWA leaving the CW. I mean, I think we'll all be jazzed if we find out that they signed somewhere where an international audience can watch it if they choose to, right? And I think we'd all be jazzed if it's a better deal for the NWA, meaning like the talent gets paid more or Billy gets paid more so that they can have higher production values. If they fall forward and we get a better Power, say on a platform that, we maybe have to pay for, are you going to pay to watch Power at this point? I don't think I'm going to. If I have to pay to watch Power, I don't think I'm going to. I like the product. I like the talent. It's not a perfect program, but I don't think I want to pay for it. Not now. If they change some things, maybe, but as of right now, I don't want to pay for the platform. I don't want another subscription. Now, if it went to Amazon, right? Let's say they go to Amazon Thursday nights on Amazon. All right, I'm in. I'll watch it. I got Amazon Prime. I paid for that yearly anyways. If it goes to another streaming platform where it's free, I'll watch it. But if I have to pay for another subscription, I don't think I'm in. I think I'm out. Richard Holiday or Harry Smith as potential opponents for Latimer. I think those would be really solid choices. It's funny. I posted a video recently of Harry Smith from the Crockett Cup of 2022 where he power slammed Alex Taylor, and he even commented on it. And a lot of the NWA fans were excited to see Harry Smith again. He would be absolutely a guy who I'd bring into the NWA immediately. And in fact, I've always heard that there's rumors that the NWA would do a tour in the UK. I can't think of a better opponent for the NWA World Champion than Harry Smith in the UK. I think that would be big business, and I think that would be huge. That'd be something I'd be willing to pay for, 100%. The official, unofficial NWA Internet Champion is in the house. Roswell, what's going on, my man? And then, yes, if you want to get a hat like this one or a shirt like this one, they're both available on the Streamlabs merch site. We also have hats like this one for a startup Lucha Libre fan site called Veamos Lucha Libre. You can support it and support me and this podcast by buying hats and shirts or Debbie or whatever else, or just watch it. I mean, I'm cool with you just watching the show. If you really want to get out there and walk with the Alliance, not with Elias, but with J Cal. You want to walk with J Cal? You got to wear an Alliance hat, brother. No, you don't. Roswell, that's awesome, man. That's so cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, the new hat, I haven't bought one yet. My favorite shirt, it's kind of funny because it's just the old shirt with less color, but I love it. This one. This is my favorite shirt right now. And I think I'm going to make a reverse of it and have a red shirt with the black logo. I think that's going to look awesome. That's my next one, I think. Jeremy, that's awesome. I can't wait to see it. I saw the black logo on the red hat. I think James H. Jackson picked up the black bill red hat. I think that's the one I'm going to go with, but I know some people want the all red with the black logo. Either way, I think it looks pretty good. One of the good things about Tony Khan is that he is an open book. Most wrestling promoters are closed off. Yeah, look, Tony doesn't tell you everything either, right? And I don't need to know everything, but if next week's episode of Power was supposed to be the 76, and we don't even have a platform, like if they just throw it up on YouTube, I mean, look, I don't hate that it's going to YouTube, but then I feel like the last 8 months was a waste of time. They could have been on YouTube this whole time and growing that audience that they already had on YouTube. You just jumped through hoops for the CW app. You know, you desecrated the Crockett Cup for 8 months of that. I don't know. Is it me? Tell me it's me, guys. Tell me I'm wrong here. CW is going to ruin the promotions that go there. Ooh, hot take. Sounds like Billy booked himself into a corner. Billy gets a lot of credit for being this great musician, and he is. I've seen Billy live twice now, and he is great. He's an amazing musician. I cannot say anything bad about the Smashing Pumpkins. I can't say anything bad about Billy Corgan playing that guitar. He fucking shreds. He's great. But being a business owner, I don't know, man. I don't know. It takes more than having money to be a business owner. And you're telling me like everyone was so excited to walk in the room with Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins, and you're getting these great meetings, and that's the best that you got was what we had in the last 8 months on the CW app. You weren't featured on the channel. Like, don't tell me you were, because you weren't. They didn't even include you in the sports section. You were only advertised on the wrestling. You're only advertised on there. You weren't made available on any of the channels that are on the CW app. I don't know that was a good deal. And how much money did you make from it? Again, these are questions that I'll never get answers to. I don't think anyone will, but how lucrative was that deal to alienate half your fan base, a third of your fan base, whatever it was? Jeremy's right. They did call it that the NWA going away when WWE got there. Yeah. And you know, what's funny is because I do talk to a few people in the know, and you know, the WWE just faced an they just paid out MLW some big bucks for the antitrust lawsuit that was filed against them. And I thought that the things would be different with the WWE going to the CW and that the NWA being exclusive to the app. There isn't a lot of cross-pollination there, but apparently like whoever decided it wasn't going to work. Fiona says, I've spoken to a few people in the NWA today. They had no idea. That's bonkers to me. How can you run a business? How can you be involved in running a business and not know the particulars about where your product is going to air on television? You left YouTube. And again, the thing about YouTube is there was no exclusivity deal. It wasn't like YouTube was paying them to for their production costs. Like they were making the same kind of money that I make on YouTube, which isn't much. But, you know, they were putting their content out there. They had like 10 times the amount of subscribers I have, maybe even 100 times. I don't know. And that they were, you know, putting out content and people were watching it. And I'm sure they were making some money. I don't know, like, why that was broken for them. That didn't work for them. They wanted something different. Billy said they wanted something different. Did you move just to move, or did you move to get better? A lateral move isn't a promotion. It's a lateral move. If you move to something better, then we could celebrate that. We were all led to believe that the CW app was going to be a big-time deal for the NWA. 8 months later, the Sayonara CW. You know, au revoir. but Shrek, you should. Everyone that's in here should be pissed because it's just not. Kind of at a loss for words. I've never had a wrestling company do that. And look, I was watching TNA Wrestling when they were on Fox Sports. You guys remember when TNA Wrestling was on Fox Sports? And they knew that they weren't going to be renewed on Fox Sports. And they gave you so much notice that, hey, this will be our last episode on Fox Sports. Hey, we're going to be off of Fox Sports come September something or other, before they made their deal with eventually, which would be Spike. I just don't understand. Bobby says, I'll be pissed if we don't get to see the NWA 76. I think that's good. Look, I think we're going to see 76, and that's probably what's going to kick off wherever they end up at. But we might not see it this month. We might not see it in October. It might be until January before we have TV again. I mean, who's to say? It's so I just don't know, right? Like, I just don't know what's going to happen next. And I think that's the most... When it comes to watching a product, when it comes to being a fan, I want you to surprise me with storyline, not where I can watch the program. I want you to have storylines that are unheard of and interesting and blows my mind. But how you run the company shouldn't blow my mind. Sorry, guys. Got a little message here. Yeah, Jeremy's with me. Of course you are, though, Jeremy. Of course you are. I feel like you're feeling my pain from the start of the year. Fiona, I felt your pain at the start of the year. I did. I'm very empathetic. I was the entire time. It sucks. There's a reason why my boy Tim is done with the NWA. Because they did you guys dirty, and I understand that. And that sucks. But the problem with it is the lack of accountability, right? Okay, guys. Hey, you know what? Our deal's expiring with the CW app. They've decided not to renew us, or they've decided that they're going to go a different direction. That gives us the opportunity to start looking for a new home. This should have been something they did 6 months ago. As soon as they found out the WWE was coming, as soon as they knew the WWE was coming, I don't know. Maybe find a new deal. Find a new home. I don't blame Billy for taking a bad deal. I blame Billy for not preparing for the bad deal. I blame Billy for not having an exit strategy for the CW if they were going to leave. If the exit strategy was just to go right back to YouTube again, then, dude, what are we doing? This whole fucking time, what are we doing? And that feeling, Fiona, isn't new. It's just reemerged because now, again, we're saying it again. What are we doing, boss? Tell me where we're going. I literally just the other day, I'm making content that says, hey, fans, go watch on the CW. Nope. Nope. It's stupid. Willie said I just removed the CW app from my phone. I mean, why? Yeah. What's the point? I'm already upset at Billy Corgan for this. What the F, Corgan? What are you thinking? You should have made an announcement. Yes. Oh, there we go. And we didn't need the blue meanie at 76. I didn't need to know that you're having another baby, Billy. I don't care about that. Look, if that's your personal life, and I'm happy for you. Being a dad's one of the greatest things I do. No offense, guys, but being a dad is better than this every day. Getting to hold my child, hug them, kiss them, tell them I love them, read them bedtime stories, you take them to go eat their favorite dinner, watching their face when they open up Christmas presents. That trumps everything when it comes to pro wrestling. But I don't expect you guys to care. I don't do a podcast about my kids. That's my audience. That's just for me. You guys, we're here to talk wrestling. Billy's in the business of promoting wrestling. If you're going to have that captive audience at 76 and waste 30 minutes of pre-show time, then you should have had an announcement of where you're going to put the product at, or not even go out there. Thanks for the like, Bobby. I appreciate you, brother. DCam says you're right. That is it's worth its weight in gold because DCam never says I'm right. Billy owns the Triller episodes. Yeah, I don't think Triller owns those. I could be wrong. I could be. I don't think I am. In order for the territory system to work with continuity, it seems that the Pluto TV option is a good idea. However, Pluto is owned by Paramount, so I don't know. They just cut a big part of their workforce. Yeah, I mean, there it is again. Like, okay, so what do you do? And here's the thing, guys. Can I break something down to you? This is like, I don't know. This is top secret information. Don't tell anybody, but we live in a time and space where the NWA does not need to release the videos on YouTube to still make it available to the audience to watch. They could literally just produce the episodes on their website and make it available only to people who subscribe to that website. They could do that. They could do that. They're not going to, but they could. They don't necessarily need to have a production partner. They don't need to be on Paramount. They don't need to be on Pluto. They don't need to be on beIN Sports or Fubo or Fobu or whatever it is, the other one that MLW used to be on. They could literally just make the episodes available on their channel on YouTube or on Twitch or, you know, on a subscription-based platform that they can monetize themselves. They don't need to be anywhere. But I just don't know what the plan is. And it's, I guess it's none of my business to know the plan, but how are we supposed to continue to support a product when I don't even know where it's going to air next week? I feel like that's just the dumbest thing. And if I'm going to take my product away from an audience that was supporting it, engaged in it, usually having about 20,000 views per episode, and putting it on an app where I immediately alienate a third, a quarter, a fifth, an eighth, whatever the amount of international audience that was eliminated, like, it better be worth it. It better be paying some extra bills. It better be covering my production costs. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like they've got there. What if NWA changes formats and just go monthly live 3-hour shows? Power doesn't have to last forever. You know, Sean, you know what? I'm good with that. Let's go. But then why are we doing TV tapings in Tampa if the strategy was never to be a television show? I never asked for the NWA to be Power. I never asked for Power, period. I never asked for any of that. I was completely content going to the 70th anniversary show, going to the pop-up events, watching the 10 Pounds of Gold series on YouTube. I never asked for Power. That was Billy's decision. That was, you know, Dave Lagana's decision. Studio television was what they wanted to do. I was fine with it just being a monthly pay-per-view option or a quarterly pay-per-view option. Hell, they never needed to be a full-fledged wrestling promotion. That was Billy's choice. And once you step into that marketplace and say, hey, this is where the big boy play, and you pull up your big boy pants, and you got to do big boy pants things. And being a YouTube exclusive show, it's not the end of the world, but it's not big boy stuff. And if you're going to be on the CW app, you just got punked by the WWE if that's the case. You can't tell me that you're in the same marketplace if they left you high and dry for the WWE, if they left you without an exit strategy. Like, you just got punked, Billy. Which indie wrestlers would you like to see challenge for the Women's World Championship? Bobby, I love you, man. You're on it. Indie wrestlers, women wrestlers. Wow. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm always thinking Heather Monroe. I think she's a super talented woman who doesn't get her just due anywhere, but she's really, really good. Savannah Stone from the United Wrestling Network. I like her a lot. She did so much work to change her body image. Like, she's in such great shape. I would love to see her back somewhere getting, you know, big times wrestling action. Put the NWA next to the CW logo. Yeah, I mean, I get that, Rosville. I get that, but it never was. It never was. Eric, I will be in Irvine tonight if you're still on. I know that was like 20 minutes ago, but yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I mean, being connected to the CW, sure, that's an image thing, but like, let's stop playing pretend. Did the CW app get you more viewers? And the answer is probably not. If it did, why would they be letting you go? I'm not pissed, but I'm totally shocked. See, I'm the opposite. I'm not shocked. I'm just pissed. Like, I expected. We all, when the WWE deal was announced, I messaged Dave Okay, you guys know that I have a good working relationship with David Marquez. We're pals. We're friends. He was trying to get this CW deal. He was trying to get this deal that the NWA got, and he wasn't the only one. And the NWA wasn't the only one. There were multiple people trying to get this deal done, and Billy Corgan got it. So congratulations, Billy. I told Dave this morning, wow, it looks like you dodged a bullet, buddy, because the 8 months, I mean, he even said that, I can't say that stuff. WWE rolled up in the building and put the SmackDown. Shots fired. No kidding, man. I would like to see Heather Reckless, but she signed with TNA. Very well deserved. She should have signed to a promotion a while back. Yeah, that's true. And I'm J-Rod and Haley J would be nice to see against Kenzie Page for the Women's Championship. Hollywood. It's time, Billy. Invest fully into NWA. NWA Plus is needed. I don't think we're going to get that. If we were going to get that, they should have had that ready to roll out today. The only thing that'll save NXT on the CW app is WWE kept their Peacock app for... Yeah, Steve, I don't even think that's going to save it. I think at this point, the way that everyone's talking, it's a done deal. I don't know. There has been no formal announcement from the CW app, but they're literally on their website saying that this is the last chance to see these shows. So, I don't know. Well, Billy wasn't speaking well of YouTube when they left. Yeah, and I know that the YouTube numbers weren't great. Like, look, I am a YouTube content creator, and I could tell you, like, I'm not making the big bucks you guys think I am. And even if you multiplied my content numbers by 1,000, it still wouldn't pay for what Billy pays for doing a live event, right? Like, I might make $100 in a quarter, which is good money to me. Like, I'll take it. Take my wife out on a date. But, you know, if Billy isn't making $1 million a quarter, like if he's not making $1 million a season, then he's losing money. He's got to be. You know, the production truck alone is like, what, $50,000? I think Pollo said that on this show. That's just for the truck. That's just to produce the show. That's not the talent, not insurance, not the ring, not the venue. Not going to lie, I tried to get into NWA, but after that overdose thing, I quit trying. What overdose thing, Shrek? Shrek, what overdose thing? Roswell says hosting doesn't, I work in streaming hosting, setup doesn't take much. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of this. I know that like an option like Pluto, like hell, like if you have Samsung television at home or an LG, they have free shows on the actual television, and it's like it's just there. You could literally go to the Samsung TV it's a smart TV, I should specify, and you could literally watch free programming right there, and it is advertised. It looks like there is advertisements on it, so it's not like a free thing. But I mean, even if the NWA was on that, imagine the eyeballs. If you have a Samsung TV, smart TV, you could watch the NWA. That would be the deals that I would be making, especially right now. I would take some of that existing history and go with like a Pluto channel or a Samsung TV, or even Amazon has like their own free TV thing on their app as well. And having a channel on one of these outlets would at least just have the programming available. And even if it's not the new stuff, just putting the old stuff out there, you might find more fans tuning into your product that didn't see it before. The way it is now, it's like it's so hard to even get into the NWA because, first of all, they're only giving you very small trickles of episodes that you see on YouTube. You get a match here, a match there. Sometimes the matches are pretty good, but other times they're whatever. It is the fans' business to know the plan. I think so too, man. Sean, I agree, man. I feel like this is where they're blowing an opportunity to make things without calling us a street team. NWA fans are a street team. That hashtag NWA fam. Not a lot of wrestling companies have that, right? And you know, I'm sitting there at 2300 and I'm talking to wrestling fans from around the country, most of them in Philadelphia, most of them from Philly. And the common denominator was, I didn't even know the NWA was still around. Okay. Well, I don't know, man. Double D! What is up, my friend? NWA could do Twitch. And Twitch would be fine, man. I wouldn't mind Twitch. But again, I don't think Twitch money is any better than YouTube money. Bobby Petito, yeah, Sandra Moon's good. Where was this on the 20-year plan? TK, you're awesome. Yeah, this was right after Nick Aldis told us that this was a shit show. Jason's a YouTube billionaire. Yeah, man. No, my next plan is really going to put me over the edge. When it comes out, you guys will know I won't be doing these shows anymore because I'll be too busy, swimming in buckets of money like Ryan from Ryan's Toy Review. Oh, the cocaine spot. Okay. Well, I mean, that wasn't an overdose, but yeah, look, I understand why that would turn a lot of people off. It didn't bother me. I thought it was in poor taste, but I've seen worse in wrestling. But I hear you. Yeah, it was a stupid idea. I get that. Jax Dane would be a great opponent for Tom Latimer, too. I like that as well. I like Sony Smart TV, HD TV. The cocaine spot costs NWA its TV deal. That's bullshit, Paladin. And they never had a TV deal. No, they never had the TV deal. They never had a TV deal. They had a deal to be on the app. They never were going to be on the television side of it. That was a misnomer. Hey, Ryan Davis, I don't think I've seen you on the chat before. Welcome. Yep, an app like Pluto or network TV that could benefit from it. Where are we getting this rumor from, by the way? Ryan, it's been reported by PW Insider, Cultaholic, and if you go to the CWTV.com, I think is the website. When you go to and scroll through the channels, they say like Last Chance, and it has a bunch of shows that are leaving the CW app, and the NWA is one of them. TNA did Twitch for years. Yeah, Twitch was just a part of that bigger thing, though, right? Like they were on Twitch, they were on Pluto, and they had their YouTube channel, and they were on anywhere that they could get eyeballs. And I don't hate that idea for the NWA, but again, with Twitch, they were showing things for like the last 10 years. Now the NWA, they're coming up on 5 years of power. That means that there's a lot of content. And I got to remember 2020, most of 2020 and 2021, they were, took a knee for the pandemic. But I mean, with all the pay-per-views, all the 10 pounds of gold, the stuff from Carneyland, like there is content that they could have a 24-hour stream if they wanted to. They could. Are they going to? No, but they could. They could put on full episodes of Power every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on YouTube and make that available to the audience, but they're not going to. They could, but they're not going to. Yeah, I don't blame the WWE in this at all. I mean, this was the seed. Okay, Billy signed a deal. This is the truth as I know it to be. I don't know for certain. This is just what I understand. I guess I can't say it's the truth. This is my understanding of what happened. The NWA had an opportunity to grow to a bigger audience. That was the CW app. Now, although that they have much more availability on YouTube, they figured CW was more eyeballs, more concentrated eyeballs. So they did that. They went to CW. It is my understanding that Billy signed an exclusivity deal with the CW app, so they could not co-promote channels, the show on YouTube as well as the CW app. I mean, that would have been the first thing I would have done is like, hey, we'll go first run episodes on the CW app. You could have those episodes on the CW app. We're also going to have older episodes, a season later, we'll put them on YouTube. At least that way, audience, people who wanted to watch it could if they didn't want to go to CW. That didn't happen. It's my understanding that once the WWE deal was announced, at that point, I'm pretty sure the NWA knew that their time was going to be limited on the CW. I don't know. Maybe they didn't, but I don't think that this is a surprise that for the NWA that they're leaving the app Somebody in the NWA knew. If they chose to ignore it, unbelievable. Nope, Corgan said there was going to be a NWA show on TV. He didn't say what show, though. Now the NWA has nothing on TV. No, Paladin, you're wrong. I love you, brother, but you're wrong. There never was a TV deal. And in the way that he explains that the NWA had a TV show on YouTube, the NWA had a TV show on CW app. There never was a deal to be on the CW channel. That didn't exist. And I'm telling you this because I know that there were other parties involved with trying to get on the CW app in the same way. Dave Marquez was one of them. TNA Wrestling was one of them. And there was at least 2 other companies that were trying to get the same deal that Billy Corgan eventually got. It was always going to be just the CW app. And if you're believing the donkey shit that's out there, like, that's on you, brother. GCW runs old shows on Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a smart move. Cocaine Spot got massive. No, it didn't, though. That's a thing, Paladin. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm telling you this because I know. I wouldn't bullshit you. I know that you're wrong. The Cocaine Spot did nothing. They didn't care. It was always going to be a CW app program. Now, if they had another deal where they're going to be on TV and that got garfunkeled by the Cocaine Spot, sure. But that's not what happened. That's not what the CW happened. But who owns the content? Yeah, that's interesting. I always assumed that Billy owned the content. If he signed away the content, that's even a bigger snafu, especially because it was the then that means he gave away the Crockett Cup to the CW. Like, what the? All right. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the NWA using one show for 4 episodes because you have to wait nearly 2 months to catch up. What's going on? Like Latimer winning the world title. He's been champ for a while. Yeah, okay. So, Ryan, this is where it could be a blessing in disguise because the model that the CW had for the NWA was garbage. Like, you're right. We were watching stuff. They did 2 TV tapings in Tampa, and they aired one of them before the Crockett Cup and one of them after. And those episodes that were filmed after, I mean, we're talking about something that was filmed in March that we didn't see until June, right? And then these territory taping shows, these were taped back in June, right after the Crockett Cup, like a matter of weeks. And we're only watching them now in September. Crockett Cup was filmed in September, and we'll see it in October. And that's like, to me, that seems like the quickest turnaround time we've seen for any of the product. CW didn't sign NXT till after the cocaine. Dude, Paladin, you're acting like NXT just said, hey, CW, you want to sign? And CW said, yeah, let's do it, and signed it right then and there. They were in negotiations for months, dude. TV deals don't happen like that. You're wrong. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being on this channel. I like you, but you're wrong. That's not how it happened. There's no way it happened like that. Use the smart part of your brain and think about this for a minute. WWE doesn't just sign a deal overnight. They negotiate for weeks, months, sometimes years. They didn't just decide to sign with NXT overnight, or sign NXT with CW overnight. That doesn't happen. And if that's how you think the world works, brother, you're wrong. Let's see. Yeah, in other words, yeah, the CW is the word is, and there's been no formal announcement, so this is a ton of speculation, but pretty reliable websites are reporting that the CW and NWA relationship is coming to an end in unison with the NXT being ushered onto the channel. We know that if you go to the CW website, CW TV, whatever it is, CWTV.com, under their leaving soon section or last chance to see it, whatever it is, that the NWA is under that banner, meaning they're probably leaving the channel. Now, look, I'd be happy to be wrong here, and I'll be the first one to come back on here tomorrow and admit that I was wrong if that's the case. But it seems like there's an overwhelming amount of evidence to indicate that the NWA and CW are finished. It took 2 months to watch NWA pay-per-view. It was torture. Yeah, it was rough. Hey, Jared, what's going on? Thanks for checking out. I don't think I've seen you on here before. I appreciate you being here. We're just getting heated talking about the NWA and the CW. It looks like that relationship is over. Bobby says, your thoughts on the Kojima, still MLW World Champion. I love it, man. Kojima has kind of been a favorite of mine for a long time. I was one of those people who was watching MLW in the early 2000s, as much as I could anyways. I'd do some tape trading. And Kojima and Carino for the MLW title was kind of a big deal to me. And I always thought, wow, that Kojima guy would make a great NWA champion. And this was in like 2004, 2001, 2002. And then Kojima would go on to win the All Japan Triple Crown. He would hold the New Japan World title, I think, 2 times. And then he'd come back, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship 2 times. He was a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion and then came back to MLW, I guess, in 2023 and won the title, and he's been holding it for some time. I'm excited. I'm happy for him. But, yeah, Ryan, that's it. You nailed it. It was blown out of proportions. It wasn't. Sean, I got heated. I didn't mean it. I don't mean to insult anybody. I like Paladin. We don't always agree on everything. I like Paladin. But now I feel bad. I owe you an apology, Paladin. I'll buy you beer next time I see you. Paladin, and I don't know if it was the WWE that killed it. Look, I'll be honest. I don't think the WWE wants that kind of smoke because the WWE just got finished settling an antitrust lawsuit with MLW, with Court Bauer, where they paid Bauer some big bucks because of the trust-alike things that they were doing, the antitrust things that they were doing. So, I don't know that they tried to get the NWA kicked off. I don't think it's a matter of them getting kicked off. I think it's a matter of CW just said, hey, we don't need 2 wrestling shows. One of them is going to be seen by tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands people. One of them is going to be seen by 1,000 people. I love you, NWA, but let's be honest. You're not NXT in terms of visibility, popularity, everything else. Go to Google and search. Use search terms. Which one is going to get more views, NXT or NWA? And NXT is going to win every time. It's not. I don't think the CW. I don't think the WWE was being predatory in this process. I just think that was a byproduct. The CW said we don't need 2 wrestling shows. What surprised me the most, though, is that this deal was for less than 8 months. Is CW paying the NWA to take it off the air? Are they still compensating them for the time and just said, hey, we're not gonna air your show anymore, but we're gonna pay out the contract? Or did they literally sign an 8-month contract? Or has it been month to month? These are the questions I want answers to that I'll never get them. But why 8 months? What? How does that make sense? Am I crazy? WWE is the titan of pro wrestling. It's the number 1 promotion in the world. Yeah, and look, Willie does not like the WWE. Ratings say otherwise, Willie. Yeah, Kojima is great. He likes bread a lot. He does like bread. WWE has a long history of killing competition in their crib. But then supposedly, again, Paladin, and you'll see it now, they're under the Triple H, under the TKO ownership, they have been doing a lot more with other wrestling promotions. They've had that deal with TNA Wrestling where they're bringing talent onto the WWE program. It seems like they've have something kind of brewing with Pro Wrestling Noah. They've had some of their talents go there. I don't know if it was Stardom or the Stardom equivalent where they've had some Joshi wrestlers. They've sent some of their wrestlers to wrestle for a Joshi promotion and vice versa. Signing Julia Gulia. They've been working better with other promotions. And I just don't know. I don't know who's to blame with the NWA, the CW. I don't know what's going on, WWE. I don't know who pushed off who, but CW just stopped airing Jerry Springer too. It used to be at 3 p.m. after Caramo before Steve Wilkos every day, but it stopped 2 weeks ago. Springer's been dead for a while. Maybe the deal ran out. That sounded so harsh. Yeah, it hasn't even been an entire calendar year. I don't think the WWE had anything to do with NWA getting the boot. The biggest problem with the CW is that a lot of the NWA viewers were outside of the U.S. and CW app isn't available to them. Ryan, I don't think we've ever met before, but welcome. You're despite how angry I was at Paladin, who I actually do enjoy as a poster on here, please don't take it the wrong way. Feel free to post here. Paladin, please don't take anything I said to heart. You know, I'm your buddy. You're my buddy. Kojima loves the bread, and I love bread. WWE is trying to work with other companies as they just got sued for being a monopoly. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's part of it too, right? That's part of it too. Wouldn't be surprised if that relationship with TNA Wrestling was mostly to kind of qualm the rumors about them being a monopoly. But I also feel like Triple H has said, like, he wants to work with other promotions. I kind of thought like having NWA and NXT on the same CW app like might have led to something like that. Like, again, not holding my breath, but again, Silas Mason isn't the same star that Joe Hendry is, and that's not to say that Silas Mason can't be. He just hasn't had that spotlight yet. Okay, thank you. Don't be fooled by TNA and WWE's working agreement. Once WWE gets the stars at once from TNA, it'll be over. See, I think that too, right? Like, there's a part of me that sees that and says, hey, you're onto something. But I also think, like, there's some benefit to this. The CW as a television network is still not like one of the top television networks, but by bringing the WWE to their programming, they're inviting all those WWE YouTube subscribers, anyone that's been paying for Peacock, anyone that watches or will watch on Netflix, anyone that watches on USA. They're bringing inviting all those eyeballs to the CW app, and I think they're going to get some numbers from it. I do believe that the WWE on the CW app is going to be successful. If you're the CW app, you are going to have an influx of NXT content on your platform. You're promoting a sports section. If you go, like, look, I had it on my a second ago. Under the CW sports category, they're advertising NASCAR, the Xfinity Series. There's WWE NXT. There's Pac-12 football. There's ACC football. They have an Inside the NFL show. There's the LIV golf schedule. And then, they don't really need two wrestling programs, right? Like, they have college football with the ACC and the Pac-12, but, they don't necessarily need two wrestling programs. And if you're paying a lot of money for the WWE NXT on the CW channel, and included with that is the rights to the NXT episodes to air on the CW app, why pay for the NWA? What is the NWA going to do for you that it wasn't previously doing? So I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I do know this. The last thing I'm going to say is this. If the NWA is leaving the CW app, which every second seems to be more and more fact, where are they going to go? I think the biggest crime is that they're not leaving the CW app. It's that we don't know where they're going to go. We're a week away from what should have been the debut of the 76th anniversary show, which I personally considered the best NWA product all year. From top to bottom, I felt like that was a very good show. There's some stuff on there I didn't like, but mostly it was a very good show. If you're telling me that they don't have a platform for this show and they're going to go back to YouTube, I don't know what to say, man. I feel like then the last 8 months were a waste of time, and you alienated a huge part of your fan base because of it. So, all right. Real quick, before we head off into the sunset and call it a day, for this week's episode of POWERRR, which apparently is the last episode of POWERRR for the NWA, it's going to be with the main event of the 5-on-5 match. The Southern Six with Reka Tahaka and Tiffany Nieves versus the Country Gentlemen, Taylor Rising, Burchill, and Big Mama. Don't be surprised if you're not familiar with Big Mama. She was only on one episode of POWERRR before. Big Mama also will be seen at the 76th anniversary show. Sorry for the spoiler alert. I don't really know what to expect with this match. Hopefully it's a good one. Also in action tonight, you're going to have the Slimeballz taking on Baron Von Storm and Jax Dane. It's a battle of two cities, Slimeball City versus Trap City, and hopefully Jax Dane just puts these guys out to pasture. I know he doesn't murder them because we see them at the 76th anniversary show as well. Also tonight will be the last time you see Joe Alonzo carrying the NWA title on Power. I don't think this is the match that he loses the belts. I don't know who his opponent is for tonight, but this will be the last time I think we see Joe Alonzo on NWA programming, because shortly after this, he did the deed for Alex Taylor and left the NWA. So I don't know who he wrestles tonight, but he's supposed to be defending the title tonight. And then, of course, the mixed tag match. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not super excited for it, but if this is it, then this is it. You know, I guess we're going out with a whimper, not a bang, and it's kind of disappointing. Ryan Davis said, NWA has some great wrestling. I'm a huge fan of the Henry sisters, Thrills, Colby Carino, and Carson Drake as a star in the making. I liked Carson Drake better when he was Jordan Clearwater. No, but you're right. You're right, Ryan Davis. It was good. I like the NWA product. I don't love the booking. I love the talent. I love the look and feel of the show. The production values, I guess. I just feel like this is the booking is an issue, and now where they're gonna be next week is an issue. If this is it for the NWA, because look, today it is October 24th. Next week, September 24th. Next week is October 1st. Next week is the first episode of NXT on CW. What happens next? I don't know. So that's it, guys. I'm going to take off. I got to go down to Irvine. I'm going to go check out West Coast Pro Wrestling and the United Wrestling Network at the Irvine Improv. Stay tuned to the Alliance blog. If you want to see what happened at these shows, I will post photos on our Instagram account, which is Instagram and Facebook. Videos will be up on our YouTube channel and subsequently filter through all of the social media platforms. Ryan Davidson, thanks for hanging out with us today, man. I do appreciate you being here. Double D, is this the last pre-show? I mean, it's the pre-party will be here next week, whether the NWA has a program or not. I don't know, man. We just might be talking about what's next. It's not the last episode of the pre-party. Double D will be here. It just, I don't know what we'll be talking about if there's no power next week. I don't know. But yeah, if you enjoyed the program, please like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment after the video. It does help us with the algorithm. If you're really into the show, you're really into the live stream, you're really into the community, and you want to help financially support it, we do have hats, we have t-shirts, merch is available. The link is in the video description. If you need some energy on these days where you're going to be going to 2 different wrestling shows, I just realized how much of a mess is there behind me right there. I didn't fix that before the show started. We got your Dubby. Dubby is a it's a powdered energy drink, canless. You mix it in your Dubby shaker cup, and it gives you all the same energy you get from one of the canned energy without the carbohydrates and the carbonation, is what I meant to say. And then if you also are looking for a professional-looking championship title for your fantasy football league, fantasy basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever it is, fantasy sports, or your business's Salesman of the Month award, Trophy Smack's got you back. Links are all in the video description. Make sure you check them out. But until Thursday, because Thursday we'll be back with the Alliance guys, probably bitching more about where the NWA is going next. But until then, we will see you at the matches. Thanks for checking out the pre-party, a presentation of alliance-wrestling.com. You should hit that subscribe button and join our community. I also want to remind you that we recap NWA Power every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the live stream. We try to stay social, so find us at the Alliance blog. And until